Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Happy June. This is a wonderful way to start our month, just to get into our bodies and breathe and kind of reset in the mind and set all those intentions and goals for these next 30 days. So, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and start and go to your mat and lay on your back and feel free to hug the knees into your chest. And I'm going to walk in my mat. So take a moment here to kind of gently rock side to side and just connect to what feels like to be on your body, especially that extra weight as you rock side to side that you can put into the lower back. And take advantage of this opportunity to kind of connect to the breath and just soften any tension you might feel in the shoulders and your face. Starting the day with a nice movement practice to settle in and reconnecting with your body today. So take a moment here to keep the right knee into the chest and gently extend the left leg forward and down to the floor. Just give yourself a moment here to settle, not only on the shoulders, but the pelvis. So continue drawing the lower belly in. And keep your right hand on top of your right knee and then do small circles here with your right knee in either direction, just a couple times. Just to awaken in the hip joints in here. And then switch direction with your knee. Good. And then we're gonna roll, cross over that right knee to the left. So extend your right arm out to the side to pin your right shoulder and just cross that right knee to the left. And you can rest your foot behind your left leg. So it's not so much of a deep twist trying to get the right knee into the floor, but it's more of noticing the twist from the midsection of your back and the lower back. And you're welcome to place your left hand somewhere on your thigh to kind of bring a little extra weight on that twist. Continue drawing the belly in, relaxing the shoulders, breathing deeply through the nose. And then as you exhale, undo the twist, come back to center with that right knee. And then extend that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. And try to keep that right knee on top of your hip. And feel free to spread the toes, point the toes, and move that right foot in circles for a moment in either direction for a couple times, just to bring some movement to the feet as well. Good. And now we're gonna lift the chest from the midsection and lift the head towards that right leg and try to continue pressing the belly into the spine, relaxing the neck and reaching the arms almost like you're trying to touch that right foot, and stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release the head down, bend that right knee, give it another hug, super tight into the chest. And now we're gonna switch directions. So we're gonna extend that right leg and hug the left knee into the chest. Just take a moment there to feel, to settle, and stay connected to the breath. One more breath in, slowly through the nose. Good, and then as you exhale, we're gonna bring that left hand on top of the left knee and just move some gentle circles here. Just the same thing we did on the right, we're doing now on the opposite side of the body, just to find that balance. And then switch direction of that circle. And notice with no judgment how your hips feel, if there is anything in there that feels a little bit uncomfortable or tracking, or maybe this feels good too. Good, and then come back to center and cross that left foot to the right. So extend your left arm out to the side and rest your left foot behind your right leg. And just allow that left knee to kind of hover here. and focus more on that twisting from the lower ribs to the shoulders. And just breathe in deeply through the nose. And just breathe in deeply through the nose as you continue feeling that gentle side stretch on the left side of your hips. Good. And then undo that twist, come back to center and extend that left leg all the way up towards the ceiling, stretching through the thighs and pointing and flexing your feet, moving in circles, just kind of feeling the ankle joints, the toes, and all the muscles in the back and the front of your legs. Good. And then give it a nice hug in here as you kind of lift the chest up and stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the head and then bend the knee to the chest. Good. And then bring the right knee to meet the left. So now both knees are equally hugging in. And we're gonna roll back and forth a couple times just to massage the entire spine and continue to engage the core slightly. So draw the belly in, and when you feel ready, you can bring your hands behind your thighs, hug them in, and then use momentum to lift the hips up and come all the way up. And try to do this movement very slow so that feels that you're engaging more the core. And it's almost like you're finding that gentle boat pose as you come into your seat bones and you stay kind of here. So round the upper back, lift the hips as you lean back, and as you open the chest forward, just kind of squeeze the inner thigh. Just a couple more, just having fun with it. Notice how it feels to be in the body. Good, one more breath. And let's just find that gentle boat pose, Navasana, right? So I have my hands behind my knees. This is too early still to kind of engage a lot of the abdominals, but this is a good way to awaken them. So bring the inner ankles together, bring the knees together, and lifting from the lower back, lifting and open the chest. Stay here with me for a couple more breaths. Relax any tension on the face, the jaw, the shoulders. One more inhale. Good, then as you exhale, we're gonna cross the feet and bring them down into the floor. And then we're gonna place the hands and knees and we're gonna come into the center of our mat. Good. So spread your fingers very wide and keep your hands right under the shoulders. And tuck your toes under so we'll continue stretching the feet and your knees are right below the hips. And so we're gonna do a couple of cat-cow here. We're gonna start with cat. So we're gonna drop the tailbone, belly in, pushing the floor away and dropping the head. So keep pushing the floor away with your hands and your feet and your knees. Your next inhale, lifting your tailbone and open the heart forward, slightly arch of the lower back. One more, exhale, round and push. And long inhale to open the heart, lifting your tailbone. Good. Come back into neutral spine. And so what that means is your lower ribs are drawing in, your belly is in, so you feel strong in the midsection. We're gonna walk the hands as farther forward as you can. You can come into fingertips or place your hands on top of blocks. Try to keep the hips right above the knees, and we're gonna drop the chest down to find our puppy pose. So I'm gonna use my blocks, and I'm gonna place the blocks outside the edges of my mat because that's gonna create more space on my shoulders as I drop the chest down for that deep stretch of the shoulders. So take a moment here to explore what that feels for you, and feel free to play with the distance of your hands and the shoulders. Maintain your feet strongly engaged and continue drawing your belly in towards the spine and up. Reconnect to the breath just in case you forgot to breathe. That happens. Long inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the nose. Now press your palms into the floor or your blocks, lift the head, and slightly bring them back into your mat. We're gonna go into our first downward facing dog. So now from here, we're gonna hover the knees off the mat and reach the pelvis high up to extend the legs back. And take a moment here to feel your first downward facing dog. So spreading your fingers very wide and keeping your feet as wide as your hips. Continue anchor yourself through the feet and your hands to help you elevate the hips a little bit higher. Just soften any tension on the shoulders. See if you can spread the shoulders away from each other to create more space on the upper back. And you guessed right, you still have to engage the core always through the entire practice. We're gonna come into sun salutation just to connect movement with breath. So in your next inhale, rise the heels and bend the knees as you look between the hands. And then as you start exhaling, slowly walk the feet to the top of your mat and try to keep the legs together as you do that. Engage the core, good. Once you reach the top of your mat, keep your feet hip distance and come halfway up with your chest. So hands can be below the knees or above the knees. Try to lean a little bit forward. Close the ribs in so you're not arching the lower back, crown of the head towards the front. Good. And then as you exhale, forward fold in here. And you're welcome to micro bend the knees. I especially have to micro bend them because my hamstrings are very tight in the morning. So it's all about body awareness, recognizing what your body needs and make sure you're giving it to the body. So dropping the head in here. Press your feet down into the floor, spreading the fingers wide on your hands. Come all the way up to standing, reaching the arms overhead, look up. As you exhale, forward fold, dropping the chest towards your thigh, bending the knees if that's an option for you, and let the head feel heavy down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway up, feeling strong on the midsection. Exhale, forward fold again. Let's try that a couple more times. Inhale all the way up to standing, strong legs as you reach the arms up. Exhale, slowly forward fold, letting everything relax in here. Inhale, lengthen, come halfway up again, strengthening the back muscles. Exhale, forward fold again, stretching the back of the neck. Inhale all the way up to standing, reaching your hands up as you anchor through the heels down. Exhale, slowly forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, bend the knees very deeply, release the fingertips on the floor and extend your right foot all the way back to drop the knee down for low lunge. Very nice. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, release the hands down. We're gonna step back into our first plank. So we're gonna lift the back leg and left foot reaches back. And now we're pressing through the feet and the hands to kind of level the pelvis. Puff the upper back and keep the thighs engaged. One more in breath in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Now from here, bring your left foot to the center of the back of your mat and reach your right leg up and back for three-legged dog. Spread your right toes, take one more breath, close your right hip. Bend the right knee to the chest and bring that right foot forward between the hands for that slow transition of low lunge on the other side. So now your left knee is down and your right foot is forward. One way to kind of check the balance here is that the right foot and the left knee are as wide as the hips. That's going to give you stability. And then pressing both down, you're going to reach the arms overhead for that low lunge. Long breath in. And then exhale, release the hands down. We're going to step forward for Uttanasana. Take your time to get there. And then once you reach the top of your mat, take a long inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna do that on the other side. Inhale, heels down, reaching arms overhead, grow taller, give yourself a long stretch. Exhale, forward fold, let the head drop down. Inhale, use the core to lift the chest halfway up. As you exhale, bend the knees, fingertips on the floor, extend your left foot back, find that low lunge, knee down. If you need padding, you can place a blanket behind that knee. Reach the arms overhead, and then exhale, release the hands down, right foot back for our plank. Okay? So plank is tricky because sometimes the hips is too high or the hips are too low. See if you can keep the hips in alignment with the rest of the spine. Good, and then exhale, press back into your downward facing dog. Bring your right foot in the back center of your mat and lift your left foot up and back as you inhale, three-legged dog. As you exhale, that slow transition, knee to the chest, shoulders above the wrist, and then place that foot in between the hands to drop the right knee down. Those transitions are meant to be difficult, so don't judge it. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down. We're gonna step forward, Uttanasana. So now we have a full cycle in the body. Exhale, drop the head down. Inhale all the way up. We're gonna do that one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, nice and tall, strong on your core. Exhale, bend the knees, fingertips down, and reach your right foot back, and then drop the knee down. So your pelvis is rocking forward to stretch the front of your right hip. And as you reach the arms up, try to lean back and make sure the front knee is on top of the heel. Good. Exhale, hands down. We're gonna step back into our plank again. Strong legs, strong core. Make sure the heels are lifted so you're pressing through the ball of your feet. And then lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Left foot in the back center of your mat. Inhale, right leg up and back. Keep pushing the floor away with your hands. And prepare for that smooth transition into that low lunge. So right foot in between the hands, left knee drops down. Take an inhale, arms overhead, leaning back. You can look up to challenge your balance or keep your gaze down. Exhale, release the hands down and step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Reconnect to the breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing, nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Bend the knees, fingertips on the ground. Now the left foot is going to reach back to drop the knee for that low lunge. As you inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down, right foot back for that plank. So now you're starting to feel perhaps a little bit of heat. Lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Right foot in the center, back of your mat, three-legged dog, left side, reaching high up. Gather your strength through the upper back and the core to bring that left knee towards the chest as you transfer into that plank to drop that foot in between the hands, right knee down. Very nice. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, hands down. We're gonna step forward, Uttanasana. Just let it feel good. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Good. And then exhale, palms together in the center of your heart. Very nice. Arms overhead, inhale. Interlace the fingers here for a moment and flip the palms all the way up. We're gonna do a little side bend to the right. So I'm gonna face you now so you get a better sense of what we're doing. So feet as wide as the hip, pressing the heels down and side bend to the right, and try to open the chest up and keep your tailbone pointing towards the heel. That's gonna help you keep the pelvis neutral. Good, and then slowly come back to center. Take a long inhale to grow taller. And then as you exhale, side bend to the other side. Squeeze the elbows in and really letting those hands to feel heavy down. Open the chest, look up. And then slowly, nice and slow, come back to center. Release the hands by your side. We're gonna do our first high lunge. So once again, facing the top of your mat. Keep the feet as wide as the hips. Gently bend the knees in here. Reach your right foot all the way back and keep the back heel lifted. And if you want to challenge your balance, you kind of have a wider stand with your legs, so you're engaging more the muscles on your leg. Bend the front knee until you find a front heel, and lift the back heel so you're pressing through the ball of your foot. Then bring your hand behind your lower back and drop the tailbone here, so it helps you lift the front pelvis. Keep the cinching of the mid waist and reach the arms overhead. So this is your high lunge. And just take a moment here to feel your legs fully strong. Keep bending the front knee. Now we're gonna interlace the fingers behind us. So roll the shoulder blades together. You can also grab opposite elbows in here and press and squeeze the shoulder blades in and gently open the heart. We're gonna come into a version of humble warrior. So we're gonna drop the chest in between the legs, and you're gonna rest the left shoulder on top of your left knee, and you're gonna drop the head and look back as you reach the hands up. So notice and keep your hips in the center of your mat. Stay strong in your feet. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, nice and slow, lift the chest. The slower you go, the more strength you need. Good. Release the hands, arms overhead, inhale. And then bring the hands into your hips as you exhale. Extend the front leg here for a moment. Good. And then drop that back heel slightly in. So if you were to look at your right foot, the heel is dropping to the floor and your toes are slightly open. If you need to adjust the standing, feel free to do that. We're gonna come into a pyramid pose. So we're gonna bring the hands into the chest to center the chest towards the front of the mat. And we're gonna bring the chest halfway down. If you have blocked, this is a good opportunity to bring them right under your shoulders to help you place your hands on top of them. And you can play with the different height. It will all depend on how open you might feel in the body. So make sure that front foot, the big toe is pressing and there is a slightly internal rotation of that front thigh. We're stretching the back of the leg. So try to keep the front knee slightly bent and lengthen through the crown of the head, and the back foot is really strong, that back leg. Take one more breath in. Good. And then rebend the front knee until you feel the knees on top of the heel. And keep your left hand right there on top of your block outside your left foot, and slightly open the chest to the right for side angle. Right arm's gonna reach up. Just take a moment here. You can bring your gaze up. You can bring your gaze down. And we're stretching the thighs, opening the hips, engaging the core, and relaxing the breath. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, close that top hand all the way back down. We're gonna go in reverse now. Extend that front leg. Good. Bring your hands into your hips and slowly press all the way up. Rebend that front knee back in. Lift the back heel so you're squaring the hips in here. Reach the arms overhead, high lunge. Exhale, hands behind you to interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades. As you exhale back into that humble warrior. So the drop of the head is inside that front leg and the left shoulder may be resting on that left thigh, lifting that back heel high. Good, and then slowly release the hands down into the mat. So if you have your blocks, you might have to move them. And then press that left foot back and find your plank again here. Stay here for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Drop the knees into the floor for a moment. Let's do a variation of Chaturanga Dandasana. So we're gonna bend the elbows back as you pull the chest forward and down. And keep the shoulders high. Good. Drop the thighs on the pelvis and open the chest for your cobra. Feel strong on your legs, pressing into the floor along with your hands. And then close the chest down, lift the hips, and press back into downward facing dog. Just give yourself a moment here to feel that sequence in the body. And just to reset the mind, in case your mind is wandering, distracted by thoughts or judging, just notice where your mind is at and bring it back into the breath. Remember that the yoga practice is not about perfection. It's not about being able to do everything perfectly, but instead it's using this practice as a doorway to help you reconnect to your own breath, to your own present moment with no judgment. Good. Take a long inhale, rise the heel, bend the knees, look forward. And then as you exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Once you reach the top, take an inhale, lengthen halfway up. As you exhale forward, fold again. Just let it feel good. Breathing in through the back of the leg and the lower back. Press the heels down, inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And then exhale, palms in the center of the heart. Let's just do that on the other side. Hands into the hips, and now that left foot is gonna reach back. So now we're settling our legs for that high lunge. Feet as wide as the hips is gonna give you more stability. And as you bend the front knee, find that heel and lift that back heel. Good. Take an inhale, level the pelvis, arms overhead. And just notice your high lunge on the other side of your body, especially on the front left hip is where you might feel the most stretch in there. We're gonna bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulder blades in. Remember, another option is to grab opposite elbows and draw the elbows back, and then drop the head down and forward inside your right foot. And then your right shoulder can rest on top of your right thigh. And as you bring the gaze back to your back leg, keep the hips in the center of your mat. And just breathe in deeply through the nose. And then we're gonna come all the way up slowly, as slow as you can, so you're feeling your legs pressing you down to help you lift the chest. Good. Arms overhead, inhale. Good, and then exhale, extend that front leg. And then bring your hands down into your blocks. And we're gonna drop the back heel in slightly. So once again, adjust your feet if you need to. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to listen to what the body needs. I'm gonna try and explore a different height with my blocks. I'm coming to my fingertips. So bring your right hip back to the back so it's centered in the mat. And really engage in that inner thigh. And slightly micro bending that knee so you're not locking the knee. Your chest is coming halfway down. My shoulders are relaxed. Back leg strong. Take one more breath in here. Now as you exhale, bend that front knee on top of the heel. Good. Keep your right hand where it is outside that right foot. And then open the chest to the left and extend your left arm up for that side angle pose. So remember to keep the hips right in the center of your mat so you're feeling more strength on the thighs, on the outer hip. Your gaze can look down or up. Take one more breath in. Good, and then exhale, release that top hand, closing that chest. And then extending that front leg, so we're doing the sequence backwards. Take one more breath in here. You might want to remove the blocks. And then rebend that front knee, lift the back heel, so we're transferring back into the high lunge, arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, hands behind you. Interlacing the fingers or grabbing opposite elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades in and pull the heart forward and drop the head inside your right foot. And reaching the elbows back or the finger or the knuckles up. Humble warrior, deep breath in. And then slowly release the hands down. We're gonna step back into that plank, right foot back. Now you feel a little bit more balance on the hips, maybe. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down and slowly find your Chaturanga Dandasana, at least for 4 seconds. Good, and then inhale, open the heart. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Nicely done. Take a moment here, inhale. Good, as you exhale, walk your feet and your hands to the center of your mat. So we are in a forward fold in the center of the mat. My feet are as wide as my hips, and I'm just gonna try to bend the knees and just kind of drop a little deeper here into my forward fold. Now bend the knees a little bit more and drop the hips back. Okay, so right now we are preparing ourselves for chair pose. So your fingertips on the floor, but you're drawing the pelvis back, almost like you're trying to sit in the imaginary chair. And then reach the hands in front of you and lift the chest halfway up. So try to minimize that arch of the lower back slightly, but drawing the tailbone back slightly. We don't want complete flat back, but we want to minimize if you are arching too much. Take one more breath in here. And then bring the hands behind you and then fingertips pointing back. And then see if you can bring some weight into the tippy toes and rise the heel for a moment. So we're doing a chair pose in your tippy toes. Maintain the core strong. One more breath in. Exhale, drop the heels and reach the arms up. Good, stay in your chair. One more breath in. Now as you exhale, bring your right hand back and twist into the right. It's a chair pose with a twist. I know your thighs might be on fire already. And then close your right hand, close the chest. Exhale, left side, twist into the left. Sit deeper on the chair. Exhale, close and open to the right. One more on the left. Close your right arm, open the left. And then come back to center. Rise the heels one more time, pressing strongly, sitting deeper. And then exhale, forward fold. Oh, nicely done. Take a moment here. Feel free to grab opposite elbows and swing side to side. That feels right. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Then slowly come all the way up to standing, reaching arms overhead. And exhale, palms in the center of the heart. So we're gonna do now a chair pose with a pigeon. So we're gonna find the chair pose again, pressing the hips back, strong inner thighs. We're going to lean into that right foot. I'm gonna face you so you get a better look. So I'm in my chair pose, and I'm gonna lean into the left foot. I'm gonna cross my left leg on top of my right leg on top of the left. So as I'm coming in here, I'm gonna see deeper back as I drop my chest down into my shin bone. You can have your hands resting on the right leg and your right foot, and continue finding your focus down on the floor so you keep your balance. Okay? See if you can stay here for a couple more breaths. The more you sit deeper and the more you bring the chest down to that front shin bone, the more you're gonna feel that stretch on the right outer hip. One more breath in. Good, and then press your left foot to help you lift your chest and release and shake it out. Very good. It's a lot of concentration. Sometimes we hold the breath. Make sure you are aware of the breath. Let's try that on the other side. Find your chair pose, right? Strong legs. Bring your weight into that right foot. Spread your right toes. Cross that left foot on top of the right. So you're flexing your left foot. And then from here, you can just continue pressing the pelvis down and back as you pull the heart forward. So it's a counterbalance. The pelvis is pressing back and the chest is pressing forward. That helps you with the balance. And then you rest your hands on your arms and somewhere on that left leg and find your focus in. See if you can create some space for relaxation as much as you can in here. Just one more breath in. And slowly exhale, release. Come all the way up. Shake it out. Very good. Let's continue working on the hips into our malasana. So right there where you are, bring the heels slightly in and your toes out. So it's like 45-degree angle. And we're gonna drop the pelvis as we bend the knees and come all the way into that squatting position. If this feels uncomfortable, there is two options for helping your body to feel more supported. You can have one block and sit on that block, okay? Or if your heels are not completely down on the floor, and if you have a blanket, you can just roll a blanket and place it under your heels to eliminate that gap, okay? So just find which one of the three options, feet on the ground, sitting on a block, or blanket under the heels works for you. I'm gonna face the camera. So once you find your position, then bring the upper arms inside your legs and try to hug them in with your knees. At the same time, the upper arms are pressing the knees away from each other. Palms together in the center of the heart so you can grow taller through the spine. This is a deep stretch of the inner thighs and the outer hips. So you're welcome to kind of swing side to side, relax the shoulders. If you need to adjust your standing, maybe the feet comes a little wider or together. There is no one perfect way to do this except for you exploring and see which one feels right for your body. Let's take a moment here. And we're just gonna do a gentle twist. So we're gonna extend that left arm in front of you and around that left knee. Fingertips on the floor or maybe on a block. And you're gonna open the chest to the right and extend your right arm out to the side. Here the knees tend to come together. I want you to continue pressing the knees away from each other and allow that twist to go as far deep as you can without forcing your spine. One more breath in. And then exhale, close the twist. Hands together in the center of the heart. Take a moment here to reconnect to your breath. And let's get ready for the other side. So your right hand in front of you and around, fingertips or block. Separate the knees away from each other and rotate the chest to the left and extend your left arm up. And relax whatever you feel is getting tense. Belly drawing in. And then slowly undo that twist. Come back into center, pressing the palms in. Good. Now from here, we're gonna go back into our Navasana boat pose. So if you are seated on a block, remove the block and press your seat bones on the floor and bring your knees together. So just like we started in the beginning, find your seat bones in here, hands behind your knees, keep the knees together and hover your feet above the ground as you pull the chest towards the thigh. If this is a very easy pose for you to do, which, could be the case, you can reach the hands in front of you to create a little bit more of a challenge. But if you're still working on core strength, you can keep the hands behind your thigh and trying to find that balance as you pull the heart into the thigh. So whichever option you choose, make sure you can feel here a little bit of relaxation in your breath. Stay with me for 3 more rounds of breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can do this. 1 more inhale. And then exhale, release the feet down to the floor. Bring the heels together and open the knees out to the side. Here you can interlace the fingers with your hands and bring them under your feet. And then pressing that to open the heart and allow the legs to open a little wider. So now we're sitting taller through the spine with the chest open slightly and the shoulders relaxed. Good. Option 1, you can forward fold and reach the hands in front of you. That's going to intensify the stretch of the outer hips. Or option 2, I'm going to show you the side. You can bring the hands behind you, fingertips away from your body, squeeze the shoulder blades and open the heart for a gentle back bending here. So you have option 2 here, option 1 here. We're just simply standing nice and tall. I want you to honor, just to intuitively choose which one feels best. And just stay there for a couple more breaths. Good. 1 more inhale. And then whichever choice you choose, come back to center on your spine. Bring your hands under your knees to close the knees up. And then keep the right knee bent and extend your left leg in front of you. Good. We're going to do a gentle twist in here. So your right foot and your left knee are as wide as the hips. So they are not pressing into each other. Just try to keep them as wide as your hips. Keep pressing the chest towards that right knee. Twist your chest to the right. And right hand can be behind you to kind of help you not to lean back. So you're keeping that chest lengthened. And that left hand can come in front of that right knee and give it a nice hug as you come into this gentle twist. Shoulders are relaxed. Your breath feels long and steady. Good, and then slowly undo the twist, and we're gonna open that right knee out to the side to bring that left right foot into that left inner thigh. So we're gonna do a Janusirsasana here. So reaching the arms above the head, and then you're gonna forward fold in front of that left thigh. So right knee is opening, so you're gonna feel some sensation on that right outer hip. Your belly is drawing in, and you're slightly twisting your rib cage towards that extended leg. Your hands are gonna walk forward until you're gonna feel some sensations that perhaps tells you your limits, right? Your boundaries. So try to respect those boundaries that the body is sending you. Flex that left foot so the toes are pointing up, and just connect to your breath for a couple breaths here. Feel free to close your eyes for a more introspective part of the practice. Invite a sense of compassion and kindness to your body. And then slowly lift your chest as you walk your hands back to your body. And then close that right knee up and forward. Just take a moment there to shake your legs. And we're gonna do that on the other side. So we're gonna keep that right knee extended and we're gonna bend that left knee and hip distance here with your knee and your foot. Right hand is gonna come in front of that left thigh or knee to find that twist. Left hand behind you. And just give your moment here to keep your gaze forward maybe, or bringing the gaze back. See which one feels right for the neck. Feeling strong and taller through the spine. One more breath in. And then slowly undo the twist and open that left knee out to the side. So we're coming into that Sirsasana. And I'm just moving around so you get to see a better view. So left foot pressing into that right inner thigh. Try to sit taller through the spine. Find your seat bones in here. And then arms overhead, inhale. And then as you exhale, a gentle rotation of the rib cage right towards that extended leg. And let your hands tell you how far deep down you can go. Deep stretch, guys, for the back of that front leg and the lower back. So be gentle here. Close your eyes and take a couple of slow, mindful breaths. Good, press your palms, walk the hands, come all the way up. Good, and then close that left knee, and then come back into your back again, and we're gonna hug the knees into the chest. And gently rock side to side as we're gonna start to cool down the body here. And we're gonna find our happy baby. So we're gonna open the knees wider than the chest. We're gonna bring the hands inside your legs. See if you can grab the ankles, the outer edges of your feet, and bring the heels up towards the ceiling. If this is too much for the shoulders, you can also bring the hands behind the knees, but keep the heels pointing up towards the ceiling. It's almost like you're holding the ceiling with your feet. And then it's almost like that Malasana. We want to separate the knees wide and keep the sacrum rooted into the floor and gently rock side to side. Just give yourself a moment here. Notice your inhale through the nose. Take a long exhale through the nose. Good. Bring those knees together once again into the center of your chest. Keep them together, roll them all the way to the right. So allow the knees to fall all the way to the right. And open your left arm to the left and look over to the left. And your right hand can rest gently on top of that left thigh. Just notice how the body feels, the energy of the body, the breath. And then use your core center to draw the knees back to center and all the way to the other side. So both legs bended, drop into the left, and your right arm is going to open, and you're going to bring the gaze to the right. And if it feels okay to close the eyes, to get into that intimate relationship with your breath, just to help you soften any tension in the body. Good, and then slowly draw the knees once again back to center. Hug them around and draw the belly in and lift the chest up and try to squeeze your nose in between the knee. Relax the shoulders. One more breath. Good, and then slowly release the head down. Extend the legs in front of you. And we're going to come into our deep lunge stretching here. Both legs in front, down into the floor. Just grow taller as you're stretching here on the ground. And then exhale, release the hands by your side. Let your feet roll out to the side for your Shavasana. A brief Shavasana. This is the end of the practice where the body gets to absorb, digest, and process all the movement in the body. So relax your feet, soften your legs, relax your pelvis, soften your belly, relax the chest, soften the shoulders, your neck, soften the jaw and the face. Relax your head. Relax your arms and your fingers. Soften your breath. And allow yourself to relax and stay with a sense of awareness, observing how you feel in your body with no judgment. It's more about curiosity and body awareness. Letting go of any sensation of wanting to rush through this process. See if you can arrive more into the present moment and observe yourself beyond the physical body. Notice the energy of the body, the sensations of the breath in your body. And entering into a deeper state of relaxation with every exhale. Slowly deepen your next breath in and move the toes and your fingers gently coming back to your body. Take a long inhale, reach the arms overhead and point your toes for a deep good morning stretch. Happy June, happy morning. And as you exhale, release the hands and hug the knees to your chest. Move the body side to side. Keep your eyes closed and roll to the right, and you can use your right arm as a pillow for a moment here. Just notice how you feel, notice the quality of your breath. Connecting to stillness, tranquility. Press your left hand into the floor to help you slowly to come all the way up to your comfortable seated. you want to sit a little taller, you can grab a blanket and sit on top of a blanket and crossing your legs. Just keeping the eyes closed and lengthening through the spine. And rest your hands somewhere on your legs that feels relaxing for the shoulders. We continue to dive into that mindfulness attention to observe how the body feels after this practice. Just to appreciate the gentle, slow transformation of sensations in the body. We're gonna do 3 rounds of breath of 4-second inhale, 4-second exhale, just to continue embracing that relaxation to the nerve system. So when you're ready from the lower belly, expand your breath and count for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale slowly for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the breath go back to its natural flow. Just notice that gentle expansion and contraction of the breath in your chest. Relaxing the shoulders and the jaw. Bring your palms together in the center of your heart with a gentle bow as a reference to yourself. Feeling infinite gratitude in your heart for this practice that allows you to move your body, reconnect to your breath, which is the source of life, and to settle your mind so you can tap into your creative self. Thank you so very much for practicing with me. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day and infinite gratitude for being here. Thank you for taking care of yourself.